So we have YouTube, we have Twitter, via Periscope, we now have Facebook as well. Hello again, one and all, to another interview, courtesy of us here at the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew, and I'm joined by Nikki, as always. And tonight we have Dave and Glenn from Shotgun Mistress. How are we going, boys?
Woo! Rock and roll. Thank you guys for having us on. We probably should have answered that one at a time then, shouldn't we?
I'm just going to let you answer from now on. I'm going to sleep.
I'll just have a cup of tea.
No. We're only a second into it. People are falling asleep already. This is riveting viewing, everyone. So for those interested or tagging along, if you're watching now live, thank you for joining us. Get involved in the comments. Give this a share. Show the world what we're doing here tonight. But if you're tuning in later on or just want to check out more information, we have all of our details as well as the band's details. So there's a whole bunch of links to some singles and music videos, their live shows coming up, all their social media, all in the details or description, whatever you want to do in this as well. So if you want to know more about Shotgun Mistress, who we have been joined by tonight, all the information you need is there. But like I said, get involved in the comments. If you've got any questions, let us know. Let's have some fun and spread the word around so we get as many people watching as we possibly can. But now, as always, it's over to you, Nikki. Take it away.
We love it when they watch, Andrew. We love it when they watch. All right, we're joined by two fabulous human beings known as Shotgun Mistress. We've got 2 out of the 4. So I would love to hear from you guys a little bit about who you are, what you do in the band, and just talk some shit with us. So, Glenn, let's start with you.
Thank you so much. Look, you know what's funny? When it comes to rock and roll these days, gone are the days of driving Harley Davidsons down hallways and getting up to all the crazy shit that people do. I mean, you'll probably find that out of the majority of bands, especially around Melbourne, that we're probably the most tamest, but put on a persona as you will when it comes to rock music. But I mean, God, I barely drink. I don't smoke. Dave hasn't taken a sip of alcohol for like 8 years. This is a great start, by the way. This is amazing. It's like, we're just, Latter-day Saints. We like to knock on doors every Sunday and,
we get donations.
Coming Saturday, you might just think I'm the devil incarnate. I might frighten you boys.
That's all. As long as we get a donation, that's fine.
Sure. Do you take things other than money? I mean,
you're here.
Yeah. I don't have the smoke machine here. Damn it! I should have thought of that one.
So Glen's the Puritan, and I believe you are the vocalist of the band. Would that be correct, sir?
Yes, that's it. That's what we're talking about. We've got, cool. Yeah, so
he lost it.
We sing in a band. I sing in a band with that guy, Dave, and I guess we just write music and record stuff, and we play it, and we try to have a good time while we do it without arguing too much, because bands are always democracies. I mean, to be honest,
that's right.
It's probably the first band that I can safely say that I have not got one shred of worry when it comes to any members leaving or people not pulling their weight, or it's 100% dedicated, fun band, and we're all really good mates, and like in some form or another we all have known each other for a long time. So
Awesome.
That is awesome. I'll get a nickname out of you later, because we've got Diamond Dave here. Is there a Lee Roth reference here? Tell me about Diamond Dave.
Well, as Glenn was sort of saying, he kind of took half my words, sorry, that way. So it's all good. I'm the drummer of the group, so people know what I actually do. Like as Glenn was just saying, like this band is just high energy. We're all really good mates, and we just love to entertain everybody. So, that's exactly just what we want to do. And we just hope that a lot of people will come to our shows and, keep entertaining everybody as much as we possibly can. And, we're just grateful that this COVID has settled down just a little bit here in Australia. And I'm very thankful for that. So we can kind of spread our wings a little bit now. We didn't have the opportunity beforehand with all the other singles that we actually released and did, and now we've got the album and stuff coming up for release soon. That, we just sort of want to spread our wings and get out there and just have a little bit of fun with everybody.
Nice.
Well, we have some, I'm going to jump in quickly. We have some people joining us. So Sally, a regular of ours, saying hello, people. So she's an awesome. Thanks for joining us. And David James has gone, rock out, people, love your shit. So there we go.
Hey, right, Dave.
Positive stuff coming in already. So keep it coming, folks. But yeah, back to you, Nikki. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So we had the pleasure of interviewing your extra appendage last week. And by extra appendage, I reference a post you guys made, the wonderful men from Stone Trip. And
Yes.
I'll make a comment to you that I made to them, and it's only because this is just how it is for me, and feel free to correct me. If I've done my research correctly and I'm not fired by Andrew, you formed in 2018, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. I didn't think about that for a sec. No, we did.
2018.
That's correct.
Sorry.
Even if I didn't, well, we'll just say we did.
Tonight's show is brought to you by the number 8 and the letters SG, and it will all come to light as we talk shit, I'm sure. Now, so, like the Stone Trip Boys, to me, you just kind of went wham, bam, out of nowhere. It's like, all of a sudden, I saw this name, Shotgun Mistress, gigs fucking happening, singles dropping. It was awesome. I checked you out. With one of the earlier songs, and I just went, yeah, I like what I hear. This is all right. So for someone like me, it feels like I turn around and you're just here. It's just like, poof, here you are. But you all came from other bands. You've all been doing this for a while, eh? Is that correct?
Lenny, you go first.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. We've all come from different bands. Even now, some of us are in multiple bands. But yeah, definitely something that a lot of us have taken a long time to sort of get to a point where, as we said before, we're sort of comfortable in a group of people where, we know that we can actually give this a really good crack. When music comes really easy in the writing process, when gigs come easy when it comes to continuity and how we play and getting to know each other's grooves. When all these processes work really well together and we're barely fighting, I mean, that's a really good setting a foundation for a really good future. So, I mean, as far as bands are concerned, I mean, I'm in other bands, have been. Dave has been the same, we all have. But I think for me personally, this is probably the strongest I've sort of felt when it comes to being in a group. So I'm very excited to see how things go.
And it feels like home as well. Like it feels comfortable. You don't have to feel like you're being pressured or anything to play in this band. It's kind of just comes naturally. So everyone's talent sort of all comes a bit naturally, and we've all sort of flowed together quite well. I mean, Matt's put us all together, obviously, because he's played with all of us prior to anything. I played with Matt.
And that was something I was really intrigued by, because you all seem to have fairly diverse musical backgrounds. Like there's obviously crossover there, but you look at the bios and whatnot, you've all come from different backgrounds. So was Matt the common link that introduced you?
He was a common link for all of us, yes. He got back from Europe and decided he didn't want to live over there anymore. And then basically he was around the corner buying a property from where I am, here. And we just sort of stumbled with one another, I should say, sorry. And then basically he's like, oh, what are you doing with music? And I'm like, well, I'm having a bit of a break from the other band at the moment. And he goes, oh, that's sweet. And then we both basically sort of started out Shotgun Mistress in my shed, just jamming a few riffs. And then a couple of weeks later, Glenn's walking into the studio when Matt and I started rehearsing everything into the studio. And I was like, holy shit, this dude looks like a bit of a rock star as he's walked in the door. And thought, I hope he's got that voice, that really power voice. And then he just fucking come out and just was like, I can't even do it. Can you give a DO for them, Glennie?
It's going to blow the internet speakers off.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's okay. Take it away. And we're just like, yeah, okay, he's got the job. Just straightforward.
Fine.
It's like, you want the gig, man, or what? No, and then Ben, who was Matt's other bass player for Steel Affliction and Earth, I think they both played for many moons ago, come together. And then, yeah, we basically had our first rehearsal just to kind of sort of see how we all gelled together, and everyone just sort of worked really well. And it just has really progressed from that point, obviously in 2018 to now. We've actually found our core roots, and we know exactly how each other works, how each other writes, so it's more comfortable. And it's more driven now. So we can all sort of focus on what we really want for our future.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, we've got more joining us. So Michael's jumped in to say, hey, he's not a regular about it.
Ben.
Oh, hey. Mr. Photographer, man, I love it.
Yes,
Legend behind the
great
camera.
work.
Legend behind the camera, yes.
Another regular of ours, Helen has jumped in. She's
Helen.
always thank you for jumping in. She's gone. It's called Simpatico, Shared Interests and Attributes. You got to love that. And another regular of ours, Dean, has jumped in. He's got everyone as well. Great rock and roll band here. So there we go. We're getting some good comments coming in. Keep it coming, folks.
Awesome.
Yeah, back to you, Nikki.
All right. This wasn't on my list of questions, but fuck it. I'm going to ask it anyway.
Potty man.
Just do it. Just randomly shock us. That's all good.
No, mate, I'm just going to wing it. If you met someone who hadn't heard your music before, so think of maybe some people watching tonight. Maybe there are people that haven't had a chance to check out your tunes yet, which are going to be in the links later, so you can find them.
Oh.
If someone said to you, describe your sound or your influence or sort of where you're at, what would you say? Because I've got an opinion in my head, but I'm not in the band. What would you guys say if someone said, what can I expect if I come to a show or listen to a tune?
Can I take this, Dave?
Yeah, you can take this one.
I'm gonna put this in a form of an experience that I had, and it sort of sums it up. So, you know, we're a rock band. We're not reinventing the wheel by any sorts. But I think the best analogy that I could possibly think of answering that would be leaving a nightclub at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I remember doing this with a mate of mine, and we saw this huge pile of spew on the floor, right? Just like junk, heaps, just the entire guts of some.
Do you need a cup for that one?
Just had a terrible night, obviously, but there was no person in sight. So what I did, I thought it'd be funny to lie down next to the spew and just have a photo taken with me, so it looked like I've just done this monstrous spew. So that is what we are put into musical form.
And that is the essence of rock and roll.
Not quite the description I would have come out with. I'm okay with this. Yours is way more fucking interesting than mine, that's for sure. I'm almost scared to ask Diamond Dave, and we need to get to the diamond in a moment. But I was to ask you the same question. Would there be spew or other bodily fluid references?
Well, it might have been about, say, 10, 15 years ago on my behalf. I probably used to drink, but not now. I'm kind of like the dad, and I've got to look after everybody, make sure that they're okay. So, no. I'm going to say no, Glenn. Sorry.
No, that's fine, mate. That's fine.
Yeah. But that's all right. I'll still, hang out and watch you spew and do whatever you need to do.
That's just an analogy.
But more importantly,
on YouTube.
Will you hold his hair back while he spews? Because that's what good girlfriends
Of course.
do. They hold
Look
your
how
hair.
luscious it is. I wish I had hair. Like, fuck, mine blew off many moons ago. Just pull it all back. Like, stick it. Pat his back and be like, yeah, you're okay.
Well, just in reference to that, Michelle Storm has jumped in, I believe, as a regular here. Clear as mud when it came to the description of how the band experience is. So there we go. Helen's jumped in and gone, shit, I can top that story, but that's for another day. Helen, we're going to get you in here one day.
Come on board.
Come on, Alan. Share away.
Yeah, and
that's all we're here to do. We're all here to have a bit of fun.
And for those looking, I did just link a whole bunch of the music in the comments. On Twitter, it didn't quite work, but just go through the description of this and you'll find them all. But yeah, the links are all there. And Ben's jumped in to say nice gloves, Nikki. So there you go.
Oh, thanks so much, Ben. I went for a different one. Thank you, Ben. Ben, amazing. I need to give a special shout out to Michelle Storm as well. I had the pleasure of hanging with her on Saturday night, and I was not of a conscious state. So, Michelle, all I can say is sorry. She probably held my hair back while I spewed.
I was going to say, were you hanging out with Glenn at the same time? Or?
No, I didn't see Glenn there, but even if I did, I might not have remembered. So,
I want Nikki to get the photo now. That's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll find it for you. I'll find it for you.
Photo.
Yeah, we were having a discussion about how young we were, and that's all good. But why I reference this now is when I listen to your music, to me, I'll just try and talk as a sane person. You know, I could talk about spews, but I'm not going to. When I listen to your tunes, like there's classic rock, there's riffs, there's fucking, I love the vocals. I love a bit of na 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 and whoa. But like, you know what I mean. I know you fucking know what I mean. You wrote the song. You know what I'm talking about.
It's all good.
I don't know what you're talking about.
To me, almost some, maybe they're obtuse, but there was almost like some glam hair reference metal in there. Like I fucking like bands like Trickster and Danger Danger and Enough's Enough and stuff like that that might not be so mainstream, but there's a couple of songs there that I just went, man, 17-year-old Nikki would have fucking lost her shit to that. No, I don't know. I felt that some of your references were like older than you guys are, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's right. But you're still allowed to lose your shit, so it's all good.
I'll totally lose my shit to your music. It's all good. No shit.
She will on Saturday.
Yeah. It's going to be such a rocking night on Saturday.
Yes.
For everyone at home that's watching in, we've got our good friends Eat the Damn Orange, their album launch. And thank you guys for having us on your bill for your lovely evening. We really do appreciate that. We've got Carly Jewell, Sun Traders, and, of course, ourselves. So we hope to see you there at the Workers Club in Fitzroy, Brunswick Street. That was just a nice little quick plug, wasn't it?
Well done.
Yeah, no, I've just put the link to the live dates in the comments as well.
Straight down the bottom. We want to see you there, right?
Bye.
Yes. By Ron Burgundy, yes.
There's a Tash from Eat the Damn Orange that I even heard of you guys originally back before you were gigging everywhere, and I checked you out. So it's a nice little full circle that I'll see you play with them. Quite.
Yeah, Tash is amazing. The whole band is amazing. Like they're just such wonderful people
not
to
Brendan.
play with.
It's not Brendan.
Well, I've done a few shows in my old band with Brendan. That's how we kind of sort of knew each other, but we hadn't seen each other for a long time until I started playing in this band. So it had been a few years since we used to play up in Bendigo and a few other bloody places. I used to play with Sub Rosa many moons ago and was the drummer for them. So, and then we used to headline a few shows up through all that side of town, I suppose. And yeah, but it was good times. So we've known each other for a little while, and just we're starting to sort of connect again, I suppose. But that was I had a different singer back then. They didn't have Tash on, so yeah. So then Tash has come on board, and they're completely tore him a new one, and it's just like fuck. Oh, it's juicy. It's good.
How do you like that, Tash? A drink.
Yeah, exactly.
There's you know what though, there's some killer bands out there at the moment, and I think we've just entered a little bit of an era, especially after post COVID, and seeing these just some amazing bands. I mean, Stone Trip, obviously, you guys had them on last week.
Legends,
absolute champions. I mean, when you have people who are when you're fortunate enough to be able to learn off each other and see what each other do without having any ego, and there's no bullshit involved, I mean, and there's so many bands as well like that we've had the pleasure of sort of crossing paths with already, and we're still in our infancy, 3 years old, pretty much. So I mean,
Can I just say something quickly, Glenn, on that one? That you're saying Stone Trip guys are absolutely amazing to work with. Like their skill level, plus how quickly they adapt to changeovers, all that sort of shit as well. Plus themselves are just awesome guys, and it's so refreshing to be able to actually have people to work with like that. Because the last thing that you bloody want is to play with a band that you don't really fucking like. And you're kind of like, shit, now I'm stuck with them for this amount of time.
Yeah.
And it's so good to have some really good bands back in Melbourne and we're on our mini tour now with them. So, which is awesome. So shout out to you boys, Mickey and Mark. I know you called us Juju Beans last time, little bouncing buggers. All right.
I'm just going to quickly jump in here, just on that note. I'll get to some comments in a second, but just something I've noticed by going through like your socials and that too. The idea of building up a community seems pretty important to you guys. You share a lot of other band stuff. You do a lot of that sort of, that sort of thing in general seems to be pretty important. So where I think it's critical. I think more bands should do more of that, generally speaking. The more we can build a community, the better off everyone is. How does that sort of sit for you guys? What's your thinking behind that?
I just think it's a stepping stone process, really. I mean, there's no room for negativity, man. I mean, if you have negativity, I mean, you're not helping anyone. You're not helping yourself. You look like a complete twat, and if there's good music out there, I mean, we're not just shouting out friends' bands just for the hell of it. We're shouting out bands that we
absolutely deserve
love listening to, love playing with, love like if bands deserve it. I mean, why not? I mean, they're doing the exact same thing as us. We wouldn't take the piss out of us for doing it. Why should we do it for somebody else? It's not a competition these days, and if it's competition, you're not going to get anywhere because the amount of bands, every man and woman and their dog in bands these days. So instead of saying look at me, let's
work together, collaborate together.
Yeah.
Easiest way to do it.
Yeah. Now, Michelle's jumped in to say that I got to say the Golden Rocket Band seem to be very supportive of each other, which is very, very true. Going back to more comments from before, Stephen jumped in before to say, haven't heard of you guys. Collide, classic hard rock, sounds cool. Tim jumped in to say that Nikki was in good form on Saturday night. Tim Caterson.
He left without me. He was my gig buddy and left me there. So,
do you have any photos, Tim? Post up.
Michelle's excited about the work and stuff coming up. And Michael's also saying it's going to be a good night on Saturday. Sally also says she'll be there. She'll hide in the corners, but it's okay. She'll buy the merch. That's awesome.
Thanks, Sal.
Helen jumped in again and said, hard yards for sure, overnight success. I think not. And she followed up with Stone Trip. Yes, generous, humble bastards. You're in good company. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Awesome.
Going on. Sorry, I interrupted again. So, Nikki, back over to you.
All right, fuck it, because someone made a comment and I want to talk about it. This is my list.
Tim, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
No. I'll chastise Tim privately. Someone, and I'm sorry, I've already forgotten who the hell it was. I'm really sorry to the person that posted the comment. They mentioned the song Collide. I fucking love that song. My good God, that would be one of my actual favourite songs of yours.
Stephen.
Actually, it was Stephen. Sorry, Stephen. My apologies.
Thanks, Stephen.
I seriously fucking love that song. Like, holy shitballs. In the songs that we've heard to date, and I am going to harp on something you said later, Diamond Dave, about an album that's coming, but in the list of songs that you have dropped, was Collide one of the first written, one of the last written? Where did that sit in the
That's a good question, actually. When did we write that one, Glenn? That was it was in 2019 for sure, yes.
I reckon.
Halfway through, yeah, somewhere there. Because I think I started recording on my drums in July, the start of July, I think, for the album in 2019. So it would have definitely been around April, May type of situation, I suppose, maybe even earlier. But yeah, that's definitely a bloody goodie, isn't it? It's got that groove that just, the heart's pumping and it's just like boom, 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 just get you going. And when Matt
That
first
is
bloody
so-
played that riff to me, I was like,
so
fucking hell. Have a look at that. It's like, woo! And I said to Matt, how do you feel about writing $1 million song? It's like, great.
I think it is, and I think it could easily be. And oh my God, there's so many things on my list of questions that we'll get to eventually.
No, it's all good.
To that.
Can I just quickly thank Alex from Electric Mary, Mr. Ronjack, for actually doing an actual video clip for Collide.
That's actually my next question.
Sorry.
The clip, it's fucking incredible, and I'm so
Alex
glad
did it.
it's about to put it in, and that kind of makes sense because the Marys had a lyric clip that was in a similar vein.
Right.
That makes
Yes.
sense now.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of where I got the idea and then approached Alex for it and said, right, I got a song I want you to put a clip to because we couldn't film at the time, unfortunately, for the video. We had a different idea of what we wanted to do for the actual track, but unfortunately, due to COVID, we couldn't film, so we had to get creative. And I remembered Alex doing his video clip and then got a hold of Aaron Kelly. And then he said no, and then spoke with Rusty, and he said, it's funny that you rang me because Alex actually did the bloody clip for us. I was like, oh, my God, thank God for that. Rang Alex, sort of gave him the song, explained kind of the vision that we had for what we wanted to do with it. And then he just blew our fucking minds, like just coming up and creating these bloody cool-ass cars that have got fucking eyes coming out of the headlights and just Mad Maxi sort of type bloody crazy shit going on, and you know us playing like the darkness on top of the cliff.
Just all the little detail in it. It's like so
He went to town. It was great. He did an amazing job. So again, Alex, if you're watching, thank you so much, bro.
Beautiful.
Sorry, because you referenced it. Fuck it.
Oh, here we go. She's off.
Did someone say?
Yes.
There we go.
All right, so that clip is absolutely sick, and thank you, Dave. It's like you read my mind because not only do I absolutely love that song, but I love the clip, and I wanted to know more about it.
Awesome.
I hope I filled you in there. Details.
Yeah, and that's the comments. People want to check it out, so go and check it out, people. That's a great track, great video to go with it.
I'll put my name to that song any day, anywhere. Like, we don't talk shit about things that we don't feel passionate about. That song is a cracker. As is Bleeding Out. Let's talk about the new one. We have a new song out. When did it drop? Start of May?
Yeah, May 3rd. Yep. So it was a very, very it's actually one of my favourite tracks personally. I think just because it's such a good track to play. We have heaps of fun playing it. It's got a lot of Velvet Revolver flavours to it. Slash flavours to it. Yeah, I think the song was originally called Slash at the start, wasn't it? We always name our songs after what it actually sounds like. So there's there's an Iron song that's like Iron Maiden. There's like a Bleed. There's Slash song which turned it into this. So yeah.
Cool.
Collide was Motley Crue, if that was referenced. We just used to call that Crue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I just used to think of that song as Dr. Feelgood. Dun, 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 dun. Like that groove. So that's what that one was called prior to Collide.
Nice.
Bleed Me Out. Tell me if I read this right. I may be quite incorrect on this, so I'm happy to be corrected. Did that make #1 in the iTunes rock charts upon its release? Did I see that somewhere?
Yeah. So we've been very fortunate with our releases. I think all but one. I think Collide was the only one.
Collide was the only one that made #4 out of all the singles that we've done. The other ones have made #1.
Yeah.
I think Collide #1 posthumously. But does that spin you out? Is that due to people pre-purchasing and coming down to your loyal following? That's seriously epic. And as I said, I'm kind of a new kid on the block with your stuff. I've heard about you for a little while now, but does it ever surprise you the reach your music has? And that was one of my questions for you. I've seen so many reviews and airplays from overseas and references to Bleed Me Out. Does it trip your balls how far this song has gone already, just in the world?
Of course. Yeah, of course it does.
Definitely.
And you wake up and you're like, fuck, when I first woke up for the Bleed one, this was, well, actually, no, it saved me from myself when we first saw that go #1, it sort of kicks off at around midnight after that, and then it sort of you start to see where you start to get positioned on the charts. And I think this one, Bleed Me Out, has been the quickest that we've actually got on the charts. It was like fucking 1 a.m. that I accidentally kind of woke up and checked the charts, and then lo and behold, I don't know if you can see this or not, we were number one.
Number one. Yep. Beautiful.
Goodbye, number 8.
It was just like, what? Really? But so awesome job to the boys and everyone who actually supports us and buys our music. You know, we couldn't do it without them. More to the point, you know, it makes us become the artists, and we get to do, you know, write more music for our fans, which is the right way to do it. So thank you guys for doing that for us.
And purely on a social note, writing for ourselves as well, because obviously it's
hats off to Glennie, man, for fucking creating that. It was a killer riff, and then killer vocals.
Yeah, it was just a really good, easy song to write. Bleed, actually, funnily enough, was the quickest written song lyrically. Anyway, I think I wrote the song, my parts, in about an hour, I think. So it was yet there's others that take months, or I think a couple of the tracks that were kind of like B-side ones, which are going to be on the album. Those two took the longest. They were like almost a year just from its inception to finish. So you can always see the difference when there's something that's a little bit more of a struggle to things that just sort of pop in your head straight away. It's really funny how things like that happen.
That's cool.
Be very proud of yourselves. The fact that you genuinely do love being on stage with each other, bouncing off each other, just digging the tunes. You both said right at the start of this interview, this is like your happy place. This is just where it fucking feels good. And it shows, and good on you. It's what people like me and the rest of the world need, is bands that aren't up themselves or posing or fucking being something they think they should be. Just do it. Yeah.
I posted up a thing on Facebook the other day. You practice from the head, but you play from your heart.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is that Socrates?
I have no idea. I'm not even going to take credit for that.
Well, there's that primary school.
I might just have a look in my telescope. I'll try and stargaze it.
All right. We need to talk about these gigs. Actually, I'm going to talk about them now because I talk so much and I get so excited, and I do want to make sure these gigs get a good mention because people need to get their ass down there. So this Friday at 8 p.m, Stone Trip with the Mercy Kills and Shotgun Mistress. What a fucking triple threat at Ballarat. And you guys played at Bendigo last week, if I remember correctly. Same three lineup.
Yeah.
I love all three of those bands. That's going to be killer. So if you feel like taking a road trip to Ballarat, you can visit Sovereign Hill the day after. Get down. You
might get lucky. You might get some gold.
Woo! Get some gold. Get some records. Gold on Shotgun Mistress merch. All right.
At Ballarat is where it's at.
This Saturday, we've already referenced that you will be supporting Eat the Damn Orange, taking the Piff album launch with some amazing people, if I remember correctly, Sun Traders and Kylie Jewell as well. That is going to be fucking killer at the Workers Club in Troy. Get your ass there. You don't want to miss that one. All right, Saturday, June the 5th, you're playing at with the Strip, not at the Strip, with the Strip at Whole Lot of Love, yeah?
We're going to change that for 2 seconds. Glenn, you want to take this one?
Yeah, change up. So the Strip have they've got other commitments that night, unfortunately. Late noticed. Words, English, Glenn. So there's another band to take their place, and that band is on Saturday night is Eat the Bloody Damn Orange again, which is great.
I don't have a snare drum in front of me because it would have been good for a little drum roll.
It would have been perfect. And Whole Lot of Love, we fucking love those guys. That is the best little venue. Love Sasha and Dylan. Love you all. Grouse. God damn it, I've got another gig to go to. All right.
That time I might be able to actually make it.
Friday, 25th of June sees you at the Cherry Bar, which I'm probably banned for life from after last Saturday night. We've got Warped with Shotgun Mistress and Stone Troop again. Yay!
Yeah.
At Cherry.
Yes.
So before it sells out, because you know it will. So just get on it and do it now. Actually, watch us first. When we finish, go get your tickets.
Yeah.
Then click.
Yeah, that's the way. Thanks, Nikki.
And that's just the at the start as well. I mean, we've got heaps coming up over the next few months. We can't really say too much at the moment, but there's
Really good, exciting stuff too.
Yeah.
Ooh,
so
coming. It's coming.
Filthy
Just
teens.
to quickly jump in again, we got some more comments to go through. Nudes is a big regular of ours. Has jumped in to say hi.
Hey,
He's with
Nudes.
us
Channel
on
Nudes.
stream, so it's good to see you here again, buddy. Helen said she's going to wrestle Nikki at the Boogeyman Bar, then she's going to go see My Left Boot around the corner.
You're allowed to wrestle me if there's a tub of jelly in a bikini. That's all I'm saying.
That's on the record now, Nikki. All right. That's on the record. We're going to hold you to that, and we're going to...
Would have been the worst thing I've done on air.
Helen also said we have the best and most accomplished musicians worldwide, and here they sit in humble surrounds, which is awesome.
Thanks, Helen.
Michelle had a chuckle before. I forget which moment, but she was laughing at something there before. But also, Sally jumped in to say song lyrics. So I think I'll tie it off with a question they're saying, like you were talking before about how you name a song after what it sounds like, but generally speaking, where does the inspiration for the writing and also the lyrics sort of come from for you guys?
It is fucking so hard for me personally to write a song about me personally. For some reason, I have a block. Maybe it's my male immaturity from a young age, not feeling feelings properly or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm getting softer in my older a little bit. But I think I think a lot of the times it's based on third person. It's based on experiences that I hear from people that are close to me, and I seem to be able to deal with that more so than talking about something personally. But lately I have been writing some stuff which, I've never really understood people saying, you put your heart and soul into a writing song, and it scares me to death to show it to the public. And I'm like, oh man, I don't know, but I think that's just because I was never writing about my own personal experiences, and now that I've written a few songs to do with that, it scares the absolute shit out of me. So
okay,
we'll see how that pans out. But
we're glad you like
it.
Well, something else that Sally referenced before, and this is on my list of questions. So thank you, Sally, for prompting me. Shotgun Mistress. I would actually like to know, what does the name mean to you guys, and how did it come about? Because, again, someone like me who doesn't know the backstory has an idea of what maybe it could be in the head, but tell us what it actually is. I'd rather hear it from you.
You can take this one, Glenn.
You've done a lot of that tonight, Dave. I'm just going to put that out there. There's a lot of
He's better at this PR stuff than I am.
Don't you worry about that.
I'm sure you will.
To be honest, I wish there was a really cool story to go with it, because we had a list of names, and we're terrible with names, which is why our upcoming album is self-titled. I mean, names for us, names are easy in songs because you just pick a word that's in the song that is most repetitive or something that you're going to remember the most. But when it comes to album names, or when it comes to band names, it took us a while to get this band name, but we just wanted something that was going to resonate with you heard a name and you thought, I know exactly what that's going to be. So I think hearing Shotgun Mistress, I wish I could say, there was, something to do with some, ridiculous breakup or some sort of, But
he was laying in his bathtub. He had his shotgun with him. He saw this fucking bloke come running past. He shot him. Then his mistress decided to come through the door. Fuck, crazy shit. No, really.
I was definitely waiting to hear about some bitch that you had a one-night stand with that was married and got pregnant? Or I was waiting for something there.
Like that. We told you from the
See,
start.
that would have been a better story, wasn't it? Now, look, our inspirational bands are like your Guns N' Roses, your Velvet Revolver. So we needed a name because we're kind of around that same sort of genre of music, and that's kind of our hard rock sort of image playing-wise, I suppose.
Yeah.
We definitely wanted something with a gun in there, and I kind of thought, well, fuck it, what about Shotgun? I come up with, I think, Shotgun Remedy at the start, and then, yeah, the shotgun part sounds pretty good, but maybe not the remedy side. And Matt just wanted, like, something to do with, like, a really cool fucking drink, like the Devil's Cup or something, like, through that, and then we all fucking argued about things. So it's about the only time I've argued, actually, really. And it took about, I don't know, 3 months, Glenn, to sort of come up with a name. Then Glenn's come up with the Mistress part. We kind of combined the two together. And that's kind of how Shotgun Mistress sort of came about. Well, name-wise, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish it was a better story.
The
Next
truth is
time,
the
you know,
story. That's
maybe
cool.
for the second album or something stupid, we'll have something really fucking cool that'll mean something great.
Right.
I know, Nikki, you're going to go to the album. I know you're going to go. I just want to quickly jump in here because Michelle was laughing about you possibly being banned from the Cherry. That's what I was. So, there's a thing there. Helen said, I see me as a third person, so that side is easy. She understood that. But also she said following that, anything like a shotgun wedding, had one once. I'm wondering if this is referencing back to the story she said could top things earlier on. So we'll see how we go with that one over time with good old Helen there. But also Sally jumped in to say I could put an album cover just in the mental imagery the name pulls up. So there you go. You got to catch it one. It's getting the bills.
Yeah.
Go for it. Sorry, Nikki. I know you want to talk about the album, so.
Oh, damn straight I'm going to talk about the album. And because Dave referenced it, here's your question before you
yes.
come off to Glenn, which you may well still do. Have you already got enough songs recorded? Have you actually put this bad boy on sound? I don't know, recorded it properly. Is it ready to go? When's it coming? What's the dealio?
Are we allowed to announce that, Glenn?
You're allowed to announce the month.
Okay, the month is July, I'm pretty sure. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That it will be coming. Yes, everything is all recorded. Everything is all done. It will be 13 tracks coming to you. Okay, not 8, not 9, but 13. Not 8.
I'm quite glad it's more than 8, but, I'm sort of sad as well.
I know. Yes, it's going to be a 13-track album. And that's all I can really say for now until we get it all up on our socials, which we will, mum's a word for now, until we can get it up on our socials, which I'm sure Glenn will do a great job and post everything up, and then Golden Robot will let us know what's going on, and I will certainly make sure that the rest of the world will certainly know when it's coming out finally, because we've had so many people go, when the fuck is your album coming out? It's going to be like 2056 before it comes out. It's like, it's coming, it's coming.
Even Nikki's camera's like, oh, God.
Yeah. It's shaking its head at it. It's just like,
Yeah, I know.
I thought I was really fucking smooth. I just put it back. No, but that's the thing, Dave, and you made a really valid point, and I'm one of those people. It's like, I've had a taste. I've heard quite a few songs. I know there's a lot of gigs coming up. I dig it. The tunes are there. I'm fucking down.
Yep.
I need it.
Awesome.
I need it.
It's coming. It is coming. Trust me, I want it out just as much as you do, but it's all about timing at the same time too. So we've got to respect Golden Robot Records and our Crusader Records when we can actually physically release it. So, but it will be July. Okay, so mid-year, it's on its way. 2 more months. We just got to wait, and I think that should be all right.
Peeps, you heard it here. It's coming. We've just got to be patient. I can deal with that.
Please.
All righty. So I was going to ask something. I've totally forgotten. Is there any more singles to come before July, or possibly some film clips besides the gigs? Is there anything else sort of lined up coming?
Yep, it certainly is.
Yeah. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
If you can guess my magic number, I'll tell you.
All right, your magic number is 8.
Let's see.
Well done. All right, okay. Yeah. So, in classic hard rock style, every album needs one ballad. So there is one ballad that, well, it's ballad for us. It's not entirely ballad, but it's ballad for us. So
can I just say one thing really quickly?
Yeah, go for it.
Because we're only allowed one ballad. We tried to get more on there, but we got told no, only one. We're not fucking Bon Jovi.
No deal.
It's like, yeah, that's it, Nicky. No deal. We got one an hour up. Sorry, Glenn, take over. Over to you.
That's it. No, so there's that one coming, which will come just before the album drops. We've got a music video for Bleed coming as well. And possibly one for the ballad, but there's so much going on at the moment. I don't even know if we're going to be able to have time. To be honest, we've done music videos for all the singles so far. So, and yeah, that's what, including No Friend of Mine, which is like the first taste test track that we put out when we first started back in 2018, which I believe you guys played. A couple of years ago.
Yeah. Thanks, Andrew, for playing that one too.
Yeah. So that's five singles, and with clips, it's more than some people have for 2 albums worth. So
On a serious note, since you've mentioned that song, again, it was on my list of things that if we got round to it, I'd ask. That's a really heavy topic to lead your introduction to the world with. That's pretty intense, eh?
Yeah, I think there's believe me, we've got heavier, but I think it's just music's a form of expression, and regardless if it's happened to you or not, I think it's something that if you've got the chance to actually spotlight something, and why not do it? Why just talk about going out and getting drunk? I mean, it's more about yeah, exactly right, and just being able to shine a spotlight on topics that just need to be heard more than they actually are. I mean, family violence. I mean, the amount of people that get killed a year just from family violence. I mean, members of this band know firsthand. It's horrible, and addiction is the same thing. I mean, No Friend of Mine was about, but that each song, every song is subjective. So take it for what you will. I don't want you to walk away from listening to a song and say, okay, this is what this is about.
That's what it means, or something. Yeah.
Take it for what it is. But I think at the end of the day, I mean, if there's a topic that needs to be sort of spoken about that we sort of feel pretty highly about, not in any means are we someone like Midnight Oil who are highly political. I mean, I'm not smart enough for that, but yeah, you know what I mean. I think it's just yeah.
I feel good on you, and it's like there's a couple of songs that immediately spring to mind I could drop, and it doesn't matter. But just the fact that you went there, good on you. I think that's pretty cool.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to quickly jump in again. Helen, before, when we were talking about ballads, she just sent one through. So in the comments earlier on, she referenced or asked if you would ever do a cover of Oh Sweet Nothing by the Velvet Underground. And as an offshoot to that, are there any covers you do regularly play live?
Not at the moment. We're all just originals at the moment. We do want to do a cover, but there's so many bloody good covers out there.
Yeah.
If we're going to do one, we want to do a really bloody good one that everyone's going to relate to it and have a really good time with us instead of just randomly playing one, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Actually, there was one that, am I allowed to say this, Glennie, or not? Everyone at Bendigo who missed out on the show, they had all members of each band on stage for the very last song.
Nice.
Playing a nice cover, which I won't spoil it because that's for Ballarat, for their little journey for Friday night, because I'm assuming we'll probably do the same thing. But that was absolutely rocking.
Nice.
It's fun.
An old school classic.
It's going back again to Yarrawonga, the cover, isn't it?
Sorry?
So I'm going back again to Yarrawonga, right? I'll link
Your
the logo.
version.
Yes.
I'm gonna
8 years. 8 years.
I'm just gonna find that moment from the very start of the chat before we went live. I'm gonna put that part out there for everyone to see.
Please don't. Nobody deserves that, Andrew. Nobody did anything wrong.
Helen jumped back in to say, well, she's over 60, so she knows lots. So you're only, well, yeah, there's a good library there to play with, I'm sure.
Yes.
I do want to jump in and say that you guys you're with Golden Robot, but you're also the first band to be part of the Crusader Records subdivision of that. So how does that, it's a bit of a feather in the cap to the first band on that, I would have thought. How does that all feel to you when you start thinking back on how things have gone so far and then also how things are yet to go?
Yeah, really, really good question, Andrew.
Amazing.
Yeah, when it comes to amazing. Like we had an EPK up for with a whole album on there, and we just pitched it out to a few labels, and we had a couple of opportunities from a couple of different labels, but I think this one stood out to us most because not only Golden Robot is they've got a bigger output now than what EMI does. So I mean, Golden Robot doing fucking amazing things. Mark, Nadia, Pip, all those guys.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks, Nadia. Thanks, everyone. Golden Robot and Crusaders for believing in us. Absolutely
fucking legends, these guys. And like just doing what they're doing for artists that have, we're nobodies, man. And they took it upon themselves to put us onto Crusader Records, which going back to the question was, we liked that more because we figured if we're going to be the first band under their sub label that they push it a little bit more, and it's stands testament to who they are because they've stood by our side ever since, and we work really well together, and but I mean it's just a really,
and the good thing about what they do is that they believe in rock and roll and keeping rock and roll alive and making this all possible for us. They're taking a chance on a lot of bands now, and we're trying to keep that momentum running for everybody. We've got generations to sort of keep moving for and through. As Glenn said earlier, like the wheel's already been invented. It's just a matter of slightly changing in the concept of it, but keeping it interesting at the same time to be able to move forward and keep the music going. And hopefully we can inspire at least one person to turn around and say, fuck, that was a good song. Yeah. And keep it moving. If we can do that, that means we've done our job.
Awesome.
To see someone smile in that bloody audience makes me feel fucking doesn't matter if it's one person, if it's two people, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's what we're here to do. We're here to have fun. We're here to inspire people. We're here to just party on and have a good time with everybody that we possibly can. And whatever direction that we actually go from here on in, well, that's just a bonus.
Awesome. Very cool. We are getting close to time. So, Nikki, if you're there, have you got any sort of questions you want to try and get to before we wrap it up?
Yeah, this isn't also not on my list. Do you know what? I probably should look at the list sometime because I pretty much ignored it tonight. This question is for each of you to answer individually. I would love to hear one fun fact about each of you outside of your music that people might not know. Do you have a special talent, a special hobby, a special passion, a stupid nickname? Tell us one random bloody thing about you that people might not necessarily know.
You can go first, though, because then I get to think about it while you do it.
I was waiting for you
to go. I'm actually going to go back to anything. If we could talk about anything, I was talking to you guys off air about me and Nikki used to live about 5 doors away from each other at different times, but we both lived in Seaford, crazy times. I went to Seaford Primary, and there was just brought a couple of stories back, and I remember it was a rough area back then, and the school was pretty rough. Don't know what's like now, but I remember there was this kid Bobby. Oh, he's a prick of a kid, right? And I remember I learned how to do, those flick kicks, like someone would grab your leg when you kicked them, and then you spin around and you kick them with your other leg. And so I remember he was being an absolute turd of a kid, and so he went to hit me, and I dodged him, and then I kicked him, and then he grabbed my leg. I spun kick him right in the head, and then I pelted down the back of the oval, right? I ran for my life, and I get to the very end, and then I couldn't go anywhere, so he literally pinned me down, beat the absolute shit out of me, and then and then he sees a teacher, and then he starts running away from the oval. So I was so angry at that point. I picked up this pine cone, and this is like the oval. To me, the oval looked like 5 football fields, right? And I threw it, and it went like right up. It didn't go like that way. It went up and then over. And then as he's running, I could just see in the distance this pine going up, and then right on the top of his fucking head. And he went.
Let's do it all in slow-mo.
Best experiences in primary school I've ever had.
That is amazing.
Good on you, bitch.
Wow.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, mine's just going to be really crap compared to that story.
Yeah.
Far out.
You wanted him to go first.
I know. Yeah. I'm just going to exit now, right? Like, I think the interview's done, isn't it? Hang on, I can hear someone calling me.
Oh, okay.
No, something that's not music. Well, I like a heap of different things. I'm going to be a little bit more on a serious note instead of a silly one. I love cooking. I love growing all vegetables and doing all that sort of stuff. I love to cook. It relaxes me. I love adrenaline sports. Like, I've only just sort of started downhill mountain bike riding, and it's been pretty sort of full on. We're riding around like the Commonwealth Games track and stuff up in Listerfield at the moment, and trying to get involved with that. And every time I ride down these hills, I just think, fuck, if I come off, like, I'm really fucked. Like, you got no chance. Like, you kind of go in a corner, and there's a tree, and there's a fucking rock, and then there's like another tree. So you kind of like, you got split seconds to think about really what you're doing. Plus, I love hanging out with my daughter when I can, and going skating and things like that. So I try and be a pretty cool dad and try and do some sports and things with her. Most of the other dads don't really tend to do that. But that's something that people, if they didn't know that about me.
Beautiful.
Very, very nice. Very cool.
Lovely.
Yeah.
I
So have
sound
you got
like
anything else to add in there?
compared to you.
I didn't hear that.
I said I sound like a fucking chump now compared to you. Like, all like, my family, beautiful, cooking all this stuff. I'm like,
bad, mate.
It's like, well, I also report the news too.
Halo Dave. I cook and I do sports and I care for my daughter.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I don't have any of these funny little things that you can do on these apps, do we?
No, we don't
Like,
have
you put like the eyes and
filters. No, there's no filters on this one. Unfortunately, this isn't like the Facebook chats that my wife and girls have every bloody week as well. They're hilarious to watch. I get all the photos that come through the filters they play with on those ones in the group chat.
Yeah.
We're going. Hilarious. So, Nikki, did you have anything else, or are you going to wrap it up there for you?
I guess I'm going to wrap it up, but I'm going to put a play out there to the people watching tonight. Firstly, massive thank you.
thank you, everyone.
Massive thank you to Glenn and Dave for joining us from Shotgun Mistress.
Thank you very
Dead
much.
set. Check them out. Check out their tunes. Check out their clips. Check out their merch. Check out their gigs. These guys seriously freaking rock. And I'm not saying that because no one's paying me money to say this. It's from the heart.
Mm-mm.
You play from the heart, and I speak from the heart. It's the same with different. It's like, check
Awesome.
them out. That's all I can say.
Much appreciated.
Legends.
Oh, good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us on the show.
Our absolute pleasure. Absolutely. That's adorable.
Oh, can you see that? Yeah.
Before. That's a first.
There we go.
That's cool. Is there anything that you guys like to say to the audience that are tuning in now, or for those that are tuning in later on that aren't live with us tonight? Just a general platform. You got it here. So if there's anything you'd like to say, have at it.
Thank you for being with us, guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep listening to our music. Keep supporting us. We'll keep writing music for you guys. And we want to catch up to you at the show. Don't be shy. Come up to us and actually talk to us and say hello. You know, we want to interact with you guys. All right? So thank you. Thanks to Nikki. Thanks to Andrew for having us on the show. And great support from everybody. We couldn't do it without you.
And stick up for yourself in primary school.
Get karate lessons.
I will quickly jump into some comments just shortly. So Helen before said, never say you're nobody, as it's almost a slight on people that have beliefs. So just saying. So there you go. There's some kind words in that regard. Sally jumped in to say teddy bear collection. So I'm assuming she has a teddy bear collection, which I don't have. I don't think. Nikki, do you have a teddy bear collection?
I just collect wild boys.
That's not where I expect that to go, but all right. I guess they're just as cuddly, so we'll leave it at that. Tony's jumped in to say, huge fan, love you guys. Clary, there we go. Sally goes, love a super dad. And Helen also said, don't change. You're influential as hell. It will manifest. And what the hell is Clary has said, tell the boys I'm looking for a bus. Yes. Story that.
Well, that's actually my dad, guys.
Okay. Here we go.
Thanks, Dad.
Hey, Dad. You can say hello.
I'm sorry.
Awesome.
We're in the hunt for maybe looking at getting, in a serious note, two of us. So because of COVID restrictions and things like that are going to be around for a long time. You know, flying and doing all that sort of shit, I suppose, still a little bit scary. Yeah. So driving around would be ideal.
Yep.
So having a pretty cool-ass bus would be even better. And then we can just try and collaborate with a few bands together on the bus and see how we can go to make things a little bit easier. Fuel, you know, accommodation, all that sort of stuff. That's still in the thought pattern. It's not actually decided 100% yet. But, yes, thanks, Dad.
That's awesome. That's very, very cool. It's cool that your dad jumped in for that. That's a cool little moment. We haven't had that before, so that's a cool one for us. Michael jumped in again to say, see you guys on Saturday.
Legend, see you there.
And Sally was confirming that the teddy bears was a secret, which is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. It's actually cool to get the audience involved in that as well. And Helen said, yeah, let's talk. I'm thinking that might be about the bus. I'm not sure. But anyway, they're on the comments. They're all on Facebook, so have a chat to each other if you feel so inclined to do so. For me, I'm going to echo Nikki's sentiment and just say, yes, check out the band. They've got a lot of gigs coming up. All the links and stuff you want to know are in the comments here or in the description of this. So please check out the band, check out the music, check out the videos, go and see them live, all those things. You know what to do by now. Follow them on their social media so you keep up to date, especially with the new album coming out in a couple of months. So make sure you follow all those things to keep up to date with all things Shotgun Mistress. A big thank you to Nikki for once again taking the reins of things and showing us all how it's done. And a big thank you to you two as well, and Glenn and Dave for taking the time out on Tuesday night to sit down and have a chat with us. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. It's been an absolute blast.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, guys. Hey, has anyone ever done this before? Now everyone can see this on like their screens, huh? Yeah. Remember the Brady Bunch? If I look up, there's a lady.
Yeah.
haven't done that.
Dave, you can be the first.
Oh, okay. I can't believe I remember the song though, but it looks pretty funny.
We should all what we should do is like a big band wall of it one day or something like that. That'd be funny as hell.
That'd be nice.
A big band wall. That'd be a lot of fun. We should look into that just for something at the end of the year for a bit of shits and giggles. That'd be hilarious.
That sounds good.
I reckon that takes more fun than the original.
I just saw the screen there and I thought, fuck, I've got to try this.
I did get a relatively nasty email about 6 to 8 weeks ago from someone talking about how the show is just all talk and it's like the Brady Bunch fucking bullshit. Someone was not liking the format. Whatever. Other people like it, so I don't care. I think it's amusing as well.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Thanks to you guys. You made the show.
No,
thanks for spending some time with us.
No, absolute pleasure. Thanks for taking the time out. We are running over. We'll wrap it up there. But yeah, just a big thank you to everyone tuning in tonight. Oh, hang on, Michelle's jumped in. One last comment to say you should now be called Marsha. So I think you've made There we go. Now it's all coming out of the woodwork. All right. So make sure you follow the band. We'll see if you guys put a Marsha thing on social media for yourselves after this. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Everyone in the audience, jumping with the comments. Always great to have you all with us. And thanks again to Nikki and the guys for having a chat to us tonight.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Next week.
Woo! Fist bump.
Next week, watch this space because I guarantee you two boys will know who we're talking to next week. Someone very close to your heart, actually, Lance. There's a clue. Just waiting for confirmation, but I believe it's locked in.
Beautiful. There's a good little teaser, and we'll talk more about that after we get offline here. But speaking of that sort of stuff, we will head off now. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, one and all. And this is where we will say our farewells. We'll see you all again very, very soon. With that said, we go bye-bye to Twitter first off. So we say bye-bye, Twitter.
Bye.
And then we say ta-ta to YouTube. Goodbye, YouTube.